Season of the Drifter. Well, it was basically the season of disappointment. Don't worry, guys, we got season of Nerf next. Jokes aside, season of the Drifter was honestly very disappointing, except for like a few memorable things about it that I will say positive things about. Don't worry, Bungie. Don't have an aneurysm thinking that all I'm gonna do is poop on your video game. I don't like complaining. I like to love this game because I do. I still haven't got the Rat King Catalyst. Can you stop giving me poopy RNG? Anyways, without me ranting. Season of the Drifter was basically supposed to be just filled with Gambit. It was just Gambit. Primarily, it was Gambit. There was no raid lair. I knew that this season was going to be something just unimpressive. Like, it just wasn't going to have that much content. But even with me knowing this, it was disappointing even with that in mind. It's that bad, in my opinion. Like, it was just so minuscule. I mean, for Gambit being the main focus, why have only 2 maps? Why not at least 4? I mean, what? This just 2? That's it? I mean, don't get me wrong. I like them. They're pretty nice. But I'd like more. What happened? Why just 2? And Gambit Prime, I feel like, is now like the ultimate better Gambit than the traditional Gambit, because the traditional Gambit I feel like is somewhat tedious and boring now in comparison. I love the armor sets that they're going for, but I will say, for it being Gambit Prime and supposed to be like the more competitive end thing, it is really kind of weird that they don't lock your loadouts when you get into a match, like as if it's trials, because people will switch their stuff around. I even seen people actually wear certain exotics, but then when they go to invade, they remove that and put on the helmet or whatever, just whatever that they're missing for their full set, and then go and invade. So they get to use the things that they want and not and whatever. But besides the point, Gambit Prime is actually really, really fun. I do enjoy it. Now, don't get me wrong. It's not the most balanced experience because Destiny just isn't a balanced experience. I mean, I'm getting my pooper destroyed by Jotuns left and right and Hammerheads, because Hammerhead is not just a machine gun, it's a sniper and a hand cannon and a fusion rifle. It's everything. It's great in all ranges. I have very mixed feelings about those because I am the 1% that still likes to be an OG FPS shooter man and use a sniper rifle. And dear God, when you get flinched, does it really frustrate the heck out of you? Because that's fun. So flinch and Gambit is not fun at all. Then we got the Reckoning, which is a PvE activity, but it's just mainly used for Gambit Prime stuff. Yes, you can get the Gambit Prime weapons, hooray, but it's mainly also used to get the armor set that you're going for that role or whatever out of the 4. And yeah, and I feel like Reckoning is actually quite fun. It's a interesting activity. I just love how they had the sections. Like, there was the first, second, and third, and you would get like the armor. They had a set for each tier, and there's no point of doing the previous tiers at all because the armor is poopy, and you're just gonna do tier 3 now. But even then, pretty fun. It's there. Yeah. Xur bounties are quite interesting. I did the first one, and I was like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to do this every single week. I'm going to do the Xur bounty and make a video on it. And I was thinking about it, and, well, the problem is I lost the footage of the second week of the foot thing, and I didn't want to weirdly skip a week for the video series that I was going to do, so never mind. But I was also very disappointed that there was no more cutscenes, except for a few. I think there was like one other one for the last one, and maybe one in between, I think. I don't know. But either way, no tons of cutscenes, so talking, but it was still interesting. So I like that. Gave purpose to Xur. I feel like there should be more to him, though. like an actual bounty that would get you like a ton of legendary shards, a guaranteed exotic drop, like random drop, you know, something cool like that. You know, bounties, plural, not, hey, here's just a weekly bounty and that's it. I don't know. There were no raid layer again, and then we got the Arc Week, and I was very vocal about this one because I was so excited for it because, well, Bungie ain't gonna tell us anything about it. We literally had to wait last minute till they told us about it, and when they told us, I was like, "You're what? This is just like, it's just like an ad for these Arc emotes. You just buffed Arc Supers." And it was a glorified update with nothing to make the Arc Week a spin to like a weekly ritual. What? I made a point. I'm gonna just kind of like rapid fire, just, you know, quickly say what I was thinking Arc Week was going to be. I thought Arc Week was going to basically put an Arc Singe everywhere in the game. Everywhere. Except for Crucible modes, except for like how I said with Revelry, I feel like they should have had a Crucible Labs and a Gambit Labs where you can do the Revelry craziness, but everywhere else is just normal Crucible, normal Gambit, because there's people out there who they don't want to deal with a bunch of skip grenades in Revelry. So yeah, so no different. There would be an Arc Singe, and it wouldn't be that little baby Arc Singe that we have in Destiny 2, where it's just, what, a 25% increase? Psh! I want that Destiny 1 Arc Singe, where it's like 200% damage increase of all arc damage, from getting damage to giving damage. Wait, yes, getting damage and giving damage. So like, you know, whenever it was like Omnigul Strike, she would shoot lots of arc stuff, and there would be a lot of arc enemies. So I'd be like, oh no. But at the same time, I'd be like, yeah, I can't wait to do this because I will melt her back. But I may die if I'm stupid on what I do in this strike. It was heroic strikes, not even a nightfall. The heroic strikes actually were interesting and fun, and plus it wasn't like, you know, oh yay, Grenadier, or oh yay, let's just wait for heavyweight. There was small arms and specialist inside of Destiny 1 heroics. I like heavyweight a lot, but can we have small arms and specialists back too? Like, can we have weapon buff things for heroic strikes again than just Grenadier and Brawler? Because those ones are funny. I don't like using them. Like, I want to use my guns. So, there's that. But Arc Week, wouldn't it be so cool doing the Scourge of the Past and having that Arc Singe? One, you're going to get destroyed by all that arc damage, but you're going to do also extra damage. You might be able to one-phase the boss with all that arc damage if you use some arc weapons. And oh my god, the Whisper's being nerfed? Oh, everyone's going to just use Whisper. Not on Arc Week. People are going to use the Darcy because it's going to do tons of damage in Arc Week. Yeah, like that'd be so cool. People would use things that they normally wouldn't just because of the burn. And it would be a weekly ritual. Hey, see you next month for Solar Week. People are just going to use Whisper there in that month. But then Void Week will happen. And people will use some Void stuff. Like, that's what I thought it was going to be. Even in Patrol. Even if you go into Patrol, Arc Singe is there. It would have been so flipping fun. And it was disappointing. And I don't like that. Like, I want the world to change when it comes to weekly rituals and stuff. And the Revelry was close to that. So at least there was the Revelry. So let's talk about the Revelry. The Haunted Forest. I mean, the Revelry Forest Easter something, whatever thing. It was kind of fun. I did like the Revelric Light until, yeah. They turned it off inside of the raids. The Revelric Light. That was the cool thing. Revelric Light, how it worked was that you shoot an enemy in the head, and orbs just came out. And it would be able to charge your super pretty much like it's mayhem if you were just getting crits. And I thought to myself, oh my god, in a raid, this would be fun. It would be like mayhem. and a raid. This sounds awesome and fun, and it only lasts for 3 weeks. For a year! Hooray! Guitar errors. We had to turn it off. Oops. Oh. Good. They didn't even test their stuff half the time this season. That's the other thing that's really disappointing. Season of the Drifter was filled with a lot of issues with the things that they released because they were experimenting. Isn't that the point of testing your stuff before you release it as a sold product? I don't know. But Arc Week, there were so many bugs that happened afterwards. People were getting enhancement cores, like thousands. Oh no, that's so terrible. That's sarcasm, by the way. You're welcome, because they deserved it. Enhancement cores are a joke, and they're not listening to us about that one. Thumbs up. But then, and then Revelry comes out, and Revelric Light's getting guitar errors inside of the raid in Gambit or whatever. So they turned it off in Gambit, which is okay. But they turned it off in raids. Why? I was so excited to do Leviathan raid and just have millions of supers. Why? Why you do this? Gosh dang it. At least you could throw a million grenades in the raid, but no one wants to just do that. I wanted to have the Revelric Light. That was the exciting thing. So, a lot of that stuff was a bust, but then 0 Hour happened, and Outbreak Prime. And that was super fun and awesome. But then the Arbalist was just a revelry thing, and Thorn was not that exciting. Remember when people made fun of me and said, stop complaining about the Last Word quest? The reason why there's no boss at the end of Last Word quest, like you're saying, is because they're saving that for Thorn. They didn't. They didn't. It was just the Savathun Shrieker Eye strike with just big the Captain's Knights, and that was it. I was really hoping for strikes. So let's get down to the other thing that I really am annoyed with this season. Even though it doesn't have a raid lair, where is the dungeon? I know 0 Hour was out, and that took them a large portion of time to make, but it's not a dungeon. It's not. You're not going to just keep doing that and get a ton of different things to drop like it's a mini raid. No, it's just for the Outbreak Prime. Perfected. Whatever. And that's it. Which is great. I love it. Especially with the heroic thing and doing the catalyst. But also I'm kind of afraid to do that and get the catalyst and do all that work. Because I feel like that's the next thing to get nerfed. Because it's a primary that melts stuff. Great. I don't know. But Season of the Drifter was missing so much stuff that the annual pass is also missing. But the Season of the Drifter didn't, just like all the other ones, didn't have any strikes. No new Crucible maps, not even a D1 remake for Iron Banner. They haven't really done anything for these seasons when it comes to actual content that we used to get in Warmind and Curse of Osiris. And I know Curse of Osiris is a meme, and so is Warmind, but there was a little bit more content in those than the annual pass, if you actually take the time to think about it. I mean, we're not getting any patrol zones anymore. We're not getting faction rallies, so no new armor sets per faction, per class anymore, or weapons. We don't get trial gears sets like that are different each season, because that's gone entirely as well. We don't have ornaments on armor anymore, like where we don't get a new set for the season, but at least we get ornaments to go for the armor that we already have to make it look a little bit different. Catalysts are basically gone. Oh, don't worry. I know they got Rat King and stuff. Those things were in the database since vanilla. Like when they first released the catalysts and the first time releasing those. So, no. And I know that Forsaken's going to get catalysts, but come on. Seriously? We're going to get year 3 exotics for sure. And we're getting year 2 catalysts just now. I feel like year 2 catalysts should happen within the annual pass. And keep up with that. Like, I don't know. But there's so many things that were missing inside of this DLC. So much. And things just were very underwhelming and disappointing than what I was expecting. I know that maybe somebody was like, I didn't have high expectations with Arc Week or Revelry, so I was fine. But I did. I was really excited about Arc Week specifically to be a new weekly ritual that was going to be added as a monthly thing. Because that was something that they boasted about all the time. was weekly rituals. Oh, you know, in Destiny 1, we only had Iron Banner, but in this video game, in Destiny 2, we got Faction Rally, Iron Banner, Trials. Heck, we're going to add more stuff down the road. Oops. Oops, we deleted. Who deleted all those? Oh, because Faction Rally, apparently they removed it because they want to make it better. They want to make it more engaging. Can you stop making excuses like that? Because you could have left it the way it was, still make armor and stuff, and in the meantime, work on whatever that apparently you're doing. I mean, if Faction Rally doesn't come back with some crazy twists, like actual crazy additions, I'm going to be very salty because I don't trust you and don't believe you that you were working very hard on Faction Rally this whole time. You haven't talked about it in frickin' forever. Ever since you removed it and you're like, we're gonna bring it back. Don't you worry. I don't want to rant about that too much. But Season the Drifter was... It shouldn't have even existed, honestly. And don't get me wrong. I don't think they needed to do a raid layer. I don't think they needed to do anything ridiculous like that. But Arc Week should have been something more exciting as a ritual thing. Same thing with Revelry should have been actually working at launch for raids and stuff to make it interesting in that sense. And probably realize that people would get really annoyed about Shinobus and Skip Grenades and Crucible Comp and Gambit Prime and stuff like that. But when it comes to content, why did we not get at least 4 maps for Gambit if this is going to be just tied on Gambit? And if it wasn't, why not give us some strikes, give us a dungeon, like, stuff? You know, if it's not going to be as much as Black Armory and Seasonal Opulence, give us something that is not really that intensive on lore or, like, you know, big on, like, Black Armory with a raid layer and stuff, but give us something. So, I don't know. I just wanted to get my thoughts on this season because people wanted to know, but I wanted to wait till, like, it was almost done with, because I knew they would throw a fastball with, like, that 0 hour thing. I didn't think it was going to be as crazy like that, but I was like, there's an exotic quest, and I know that Arbalest doesn't count. That was not a quest. It was just, get it. So, I was really, really happy with that. So, I think this season was pretty good, but it was very disappointing, though, overall. Sadly. But Bungie, I will always remember when I pooped my pants because of Trevor, the creeper that is in that 0 hour mission. Thank you for that, by the way. It's really funny. Thanks. But I want to know your thoughts in the in the comments down below. So let me know what your thoughts are on this season. And thank you so much for watching. Chibi out.